what's up to all of my videos out there. So please make sure to get the book at Amazon or BarnesandNoble.com. The links will be in the description box below as usual. If you'd like to contact me for personal reading, my email address as well as the prices are in the description box below. They did raise a little bit because I'm getting better, and plus I really want to detract the crazy individuals and stuff like this, because unfortunately you get a lot of crazy individuals in this space, a lot of people who try to disprove you and do all types of idiotic stuff, people who don't even really have any kind of real understanding of what real spirituality is, but they just trying to be contrarians because they're mentally ill. You know what I mean? And I have to say it like that because at the end of the day, that's really what it is. Off camera, this doesn't even happen all the time, but off camera sometimes, the same people who come to me and stuff like this and act like they support will be the same people who end up like low-key, not low-key, high-key actually, directly like saying and doing all sorts of disrespectful stuff, just all sorts of stuff. They follow my Instagram page, unfollow, they subscribe, unsubscribe. 1 minute I'm thinking we cool, then they flip the switch, and the next thing I know they're like cussing me out, going crazy. And the thing is, I have witnesses to back this up because I show my family members this so that they can get a better understanding of, look, this craziness is real. I want my family members to see this, and they see it themselves, and they're like, and they're thinking to themselves, right? They're thinking to myself, because I showed this to my mom, showed this to my sister, and they're thinking to themselves, they're like, I'm starting to understand. This is what they tell me from their own words. They're like, I'm starting to understand why it is that you say that some of them are dumb. I'm starting to understand why it is that you say that some of them need psychiatric therapy. And I'm like, you see what I mean? I only want to attract civilized beings who really want to learn how to make their own lives better. I'm not at all interested in individuals who stir up drama over silly stuff. So the cards that I come up with for the Leos are the Ten of Pentacles, and that goes for any zodiac sign. The Ten of Pentacles, the World, the Empress, the Seven of Swords, the Five of Cups. We're almost done. The Chariot, Two of Cups, Eight of Wands, the Moon. Very interesting stuff. The Star card. Wow. Very interesting. Okay. The Eight of Pentacles, the Seven of Cups, the Tower, Nine of Swords, and last but not least, you have the Magician. So, Leos, very interesting spread this time around. So, in the context of love, because that's what I do on this channel, I talk about love. If you want to talk to me about anything else, private reading, finances, right, money, stuff like this, business, you can always go ahead, hit me up, Kareemspiritworks.com. Okay, so for the Leos, what I'm seeing here for a lot of y'all is, a lot of you Leos are getting the same treatment that the Virgos was getting, where you were dealing with someone very short term who screwed you over, and you Leos, right, Ten of Pentacles, right, Ten of Pentacles, World card, Ten of Pentacles, World card, Empress, still have a lot going on for yourselves, so you're not necessarily pressed over it, and you're going about your business. Until Seven of Swords and the Five of Cups, you started to hear from this person again, because it's not someone that you were dating. Because if you did, if it was someone that you were dating, you would have more than likely have gotten a Six of Cups, right? Because Six of Cups is usually a card where it usually speaks to people who did get somewhere as far as dating is concerned, right? If we're talking about love specifically, which we are, because Six of Cups can mean different things, right? Depending on the context. But it represents people whom you were dating for a short, or maybe even a long period of time. But it represents people whom you were dating and decided to come back. You're getting a lot of the Virgo love, because this is people whom you weren't dating, you didn't get that far with, but the Seven of Swords and the Five of Cups, they're deciding that they want to come back and hang out with you, because they see you as someone that they're starting to see the value in, or they didn't see the value in being in a relationship with you from before. Not only until you decided to leave is when they saw the value. So the Chariot and the Two of Cups and the Eight of Wands represents how, since this is the case, this is more so how you Leos are deciding to give these people a try, right? The Chariot is like you being like, okay, I'll give you a second chance. And the Two of Cups represents you and this person dating, right? Jumping head first into monogamy immediately. The Eight of Wands represents you Leos, your need for a lot of communication, because this person already screwed you over once, right? You don't want this to happen to you again, right? You know, Leos can get heartbroken. Leo rules the heart, and Leos catch more heart disease than any other zodiac sign. That's a fun fact, right? Heart attacks, cardiac arrests, strokes, things of this nature, right? Complications of the heart, and because not only because of the things that they eat per se, but even if the Leos are eating well, it's also because of the stress that they deal with when it comes to matters of the heart, love, family, things that get close to them, right? So a lot of the times what y'all may not necessarily understand is y'all rule over the fifth house, and the fifth house rules family. The fourth house, the fifth house. I mean, to be honest with you, like the first house all the way to the sixth, all the way through the sixth house, I should say, is really more so houses of family, right? The fifth house rules the relationship between father and son, but it can also represent the relationship between parent and child. If not, it could also represent nurturing, right? Nourishment, along with the fourth house. So why am I saying all this? I'm saying all this because you Leos need a lot of communication with this person, especially since they already screwed you over the first time. So the moon is a representation of how you Leos, there's a need for a lot of you Leos, right? You have the moon and you have the star. So as you can see, it's night sky between these two cards, right? You know what I'm saying? And this one has the dipper in it, right? Well, no, it doesn't have the dipper in it. Sorry about that, because there's 8 stars in it. But either way, the point that I'm trying to make here is the moon denotes how a lot of you Leos need to deal with some sort of emotional baggage when it comes to not trusting this person again. And the star card represents this person wishes that you can really let your hair down, so to speak, your Leo locks, and really relax with this person and see that so far so good. This person is not necessarily looking to lie to you, but the Eight of Pentacles Seven of Cups and the Tower, and I'll finish off the row. The Nine of Swords and the Magician represents how it seems to me as if some of you Leos may not necessarily really be able to let go of this situation. This is you saying that you're trying to get over it. The Seven of Cups is about how you're still choosing to be judgmental and kind of look at them and kind of misinterpret the things that they say or they do as enemy, right, moves. And the things that the Tower represents, how the two of you are going to have a disagreement, and the two of you may end up breaking up the relationship or going your separate ways. I'm sorry to say all this stuff, but it has to be said, because I don't want the Leos finding themselves in denial and they get themselves hurt. You understand? So the things that the Nine of Swords and the Magician represents how this is a situation where this is something that a lot of you Leos understand, that you are in control. And too oftentimes people don't think that's a good thing. People think that that's an insult or something like this. But what a lot of people don't listen to is, when I say that you are in control, it means that you are in control, meaning that instead of looking at it from a loser's perspective, look at it from a perspective of, because it means that you are in control, you can change that type of circumstance. So you shouldn't even be worried about the kind of pain and how much you're going through this pain. You should be more so worried about, after a while, how you can fix it. So let's clarify the Magician. Let's get more clarification on the Magician. So the cards that you got to clarify the Magician are the Three of Wands, the Queen of Cups, and the Ace of Swords. The Three of Wands, you have a lot of people out here who want to hang out with you, and maybe even this person whom you may have had whom you did have that falling out with, that represents this Tower, you and them, right, destroying the relationship. This person even wants to hear from you still, but they don't want to hear from you if you're still gonna be suspicious of them, even if they did kind of cause it. So the Queen of Cups now represents how they have changed. They want you to notice that they have changed. They have changed their circumstances. They are not that same person who they once were. The Ace of Swords now represents, right, because I'm using the Halloween tarot, so the imagery and the name looks different, but the suits, ultimately, when you understand, is the same. The Ace of Swords represents how this will be an obstacle for you to essentially figure out on your own, right? For you Leos to understand that this person, or people in general, are not necessarily plotting on you, and that you should be okay, right? Like, you're not in a situation where you have people plotting on you, at least in your immediate surroundings, in your immediate future. And that this is something that you should be more relaxed, because you're not in any kind of real serious danger, right? So let's clarify the Tower. The Three of Pentacles, Ace of Pentacles, Emperor. Very, very crazy. Very, very crazy. Three of Pentacles, the two of you deciding mutually that this isn't the best time for the two of you to be in a relationship because you still don't trust them. The Ace of Pentacles, you telling them the truth that you don't, and you never know, you don't know if you ever will trust them because of the craziness that they've pulled. And then the Emperor represents how you really hurt this person with that, maybe even some of them may even be brought to tears due to you telling them that you may never really trust them, that's the way that it goes, right? Let's clarify the Moon, right? get some more clarification to help out the Leos some more. You have the Six of Swords, the Page of Cups, and the Justice. Wow. That is crazy. Okay, so to clarify the moon, right? The Six of Swords is showing that you have to learn to use your mind to understand that you have to get over it. And that stop being wishy-washy about it is what it's saying. And what it means by that is, if you choose to be with this person, it's not to say that you don't have choices, Leo. You have choices. But what those three cards is saying is, if you are going to leave this person alone, that's it. Then completely leave them alone because you really can't trust. You will never trust them again. Then completely leave them alone. Don't date them. Don't try to date them. Or if you like them and if you're going to try to date them, then there needs to be some sort of letting go of the past. Either way, you have to let go of the past, but different purposes, right? So the thing is that the Page of Cups represents how you're caught up in a delusion, because the Page of Cups can represent delusions as well sometimes, right? That's why it is I say all the time that you can't necessarily go by one particular meaning of the cards. You have to more so look at it for the story that it's telling. And see, the thing is that the Justice represents how, if you don't learn how to forgive yourself, if you don't learn how to forgive the other person, and when I say forgive yourself for getting played, or being tricked. Your ego is what's convincing or trying to convince you or convincing you up until this point that you should feel idiotic, that you got fooled and stuff like this. That's what trickery is for. It's to build confusion. You know what I mean? And then the thing is that the Page of Cups represents, if you continue to be delusional about this, then you're never going to realize the justice. You're never going to actually get to a point of the justice, which is actually living your life, actually experiencing still all the experiences that you need to have to be a well-rounded adult. Your growth is going to get stunted if you're not ready. If you don't let this thing go. So that's pretty much it. Comment on the video, like the video, subscribe. That's all I have for you for today. Leave a thumbs up. Peace.